Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien and today's bulletin: Menshed gets the OK, more money for hospice, local musician to launch second album and more. An Amaio retirement home resident, Rex Lucas, had some men's workshop equipment in a shed on the grounds of his Stoke retirement village in September last year. However, it was not in the residence agreement and he was informed he had to remove them from the premises while things could be sorted out. Rex contacted Nelson-based Menshed Whakatū for help. Ironically, Menshed Whakatū was homeless themselves and were at the time, as they still are, trying to find premises to base themselves out of. However, the organisation is continually contacted by various people with offers of equipment and help, but as yet no home. One offer to the Menshed Whakatū had come from Paul Brockie of Absolute Energy, who offered them storage space for donated equipment until a shed could be found, which the group gratefully accepted to store Rex's tools and equipment. Rex Lucas contacted CEO Earl Garth Parich of Oceania Group, and after some discussion the CEO offered to build a small men's shed for the village residents. And on Wednesday I was there while the rain held off just long enough to open this new workshop edition. I caught up with the CEO of the Oceania Group, Earl Garth Parich, for his comments. Earl, thanks for taking the time for coming down here, opening up this men's shed. It's fantastic for the village. Can we have a few comments, please?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity to put something like this in place. We've got a village here that's got a large number of residents in it. They've all got their own tools. It's a great place for them to come in and share the tools together and do some work together. But people who move into our villages are still independent. They're active individuals. And we don't want them to hang up their boots, right away. They want to get involved in things, and that's a great opportunity to do it. So it's a great little facility we've got here. One of our local residents, Rex, has been fantastic putting it all together, coordinating it. We've had a lot of support from the local community. Had some items donated from some of the larger building supply places, which is fabulous. So it's great to get that community support into the village.
Yeah, it's great to see the community get behind it, like you say. And do you have these kind of facilities in your other retirement homes?
Yeah, we do. Yep. So we've got 50 sites around New Zealand, and we've got a number of other retirement villages like this where we set up facilities like this as the residents, want them. They generally need somebody in the village who's the champion of it. The interested person who's keen to get behind it, etc. But as I say, obviously here in Stoke, there's other men's sheds out in the community that have got behind this one as well. So yeah, that's all part of the picture, putting it together. But it's great to see it happen, to be honest. Yeah.
Rex Lucas shared with me his feelings on getting his equipment back home, while his wife Pam gave me a woman's point of view. Rex, we've got the men's shed open down here. It's a great day. I'm pretty happy myself, and it's not even my shed. How are you feeling?
I feel very satisfied. We've got the machinery back now, and it's all set to go as soon as it's been inspected, and it'll be available for anybody in the village to come and if they don't know what they're doing, I'll be here to help them, and so will other men. I'm not the only woodworker in the place, but we'll no doubt have a few ladies come in, and they'll be very welcome. No, it's good. It's worked out very well, and I'm very pleased.
And you think there's a few odd jobs around the village that need to be done that people might be asking you to do in the near future?
Yes, I've already done a few for some ladies and men, but if people want me to do anything.
And Pam was saying, like in the village, there's art classes and cooking classes and stuff. You feel this is a bit more of something for the men now?
Yes, I do. Men can go and paint, there's no trouble, but they wouldn't be in a choir. So Friday mornings might be a good idea to have the men over here. But we will have some formalisation to make sure that everybody using the place is capable. You hear so many stories about stupid accidents, but hope we can avoid them.
Yeah, well, hopefully when you get to this age, you sort of know where to stick the fingers to keep them on your hands, isn't it?
Yeah, you're dead right. And it's so easy to make mistakes, but we just make sure that, if possible, we avoid them.
Pam, this is a men's shed, so basically it's for the men, but how do you feel about it being here?
It's here for the girls as well. If they are interested, they will be taught how to use the machinery, and it's got to be done right because some of the stuff's quite dangerous. And but it's good because it gets the men from under our feet, gives them an interest. I mean, until we got this men's shed, poor old Rex, who's done woodwork all his life, was wandering around like a lost soul. So I said, you've got to get this men's shed back here. So we got a petition, got 3 pages petition, sent them up to Earl, and a big letter from Nick Smith, and it worked. They're only too happy to put it in for us. So, yeah, it's going to be good. He's got a lot of projects on. First thing he's got to build is 2 sawhorses. And they can work outside in the summer too, you see. He's got this yard here.
And there'll be cups of tea and scones coming down from the house?
Oh, yes, might even be a pot of hot soup near lunchtime. Yes, hot scones. I'm not bad on the old scones. So we've got a great setup here altogether because we've got a wonderful community hall there. Yep. We had a wonderful concert there last Friday with my choir who practice here.
Nice.
We have an art group here on a Monday morning. So the whole setup of the village is really going good. And I put on a big afternoon tea on Friday. We had 45 people around the village, and some of them missed out because they had other things on, and they were so devastated because they heard how good it was. So the whole thing ties up, you see, with men and women being able to be occupied. The next thing that's going to go up is a bike shed.
As happens in a small community, people talk, and Mitre 10 Mega heard of the opening and donated a drill press to the lucky shed. 1.8 million is being pumped into Nelson Marlborough's hospice services over the next 4 years, according to Health Minister Jonathan Coleman last week. He said that hospices make a huge difference to people's lives by ensuring terminally ill people are as free from pain and suffering as possible. They also provide valuable care and support for families and friends. The government has allocated $52 million in the budget to be distributed over 4 years to help hospices around the country expand their community care services. Nelson Marlborough DHB will receive an extra $445,000 a year for 4 years to share between Marlborough Community Hospice and Nelson Region Hospice. The allocated funding will take effect from 1st of July this year. Government figures show that more than 15,000 people received care and support in 2013 from hospice services throughout New Zealand, and hospice staff made over 145,000 home visits. Just over 20% of people using hospice services were aged under 60, and 3/4 had a cancer-related disease. Uniquely Nelson has been busy with the planning of local events to help cull the winter blues of locals and visitors alike, and to help aid our businesses through the quiet months. Chrissy Small caught up with Kathy Madigan of Uniquely Nelson to talk about what's on the event menu this winter.
Kathy Madigan, such a gorgeous day here in Nelson after a whole week of, it feels like a whole week of rain. Now we're here to discuss what's going on for winter, to get away from the winter blues, and you've got a feast for the senses.
We have, yes. We've got a campaign called Feast for the Senses. It's a new winter campaign. As it suggests, it's about food, of course, dining out. We know we've got great restaurants in Nelson City, but it's also about arts, music, culture. There's a whole lot of things happening. It kicks off 1st of July. The brochure will be on the street or available around all the shops and everywhere starting next week. Pick it up. It's got a culinary passport in it as well. You can dine your way around Nelson City, collect stamps and win some great dining out prizes. And the other very exciting thing that we're doing every Wednesday night, we're doing movable feasts. So you move around the entree at the first restaurant, main at the next restaurant, dessert at the other. And we'll be having fire twirlers out on the street and entertainment. So it's going to be really fun, a great way to spend your winter July.
Is this the first time that this kind of, what would you call it, movable feast has ever happened?
It's happened in other parts of the world. They're called progressive dinners elsewhere, but this is the first time we've done it in Nelson. And because our restaurants are all so close together and easy walking distance, we just feel it's something that will be great here. It'll just take off and it'll become a permanent part of our winter, that we have these movable feasts every winter. But yeah, first year this year. There are 6 dinners in total. First one starts on July 1st. All the details in the brochure.
Right, and of course, where can people find these? I suppose at all the restaurants that are involved.
Yep, all around the city. We'll have it everywhere around the city. We'll have it at the eyesight and at Nelson City Council. And you can also find it online. We've got a dedicated website called feastnelson.nz. No .co, just .nz.
Great. Okay, Kathy, Uniquely Nelson. Now, this is an organisation that's designed to bring life back to the city centre, I believe.
Yes, look, we all know Nelson's a seasonal town. In the summer we have a lot of visitors, and because of our great climate everyone's out and about. In winter things go a little bit quieter. So, this is directed at our Nelson people, our Nelson and Richmond people, and we want them to come out and enjoy their own city and, come out in the winter when, don't stay at home watching telly, come out and enjoy what we've got to offer here. That's what it's all about.
So, okay, this sounds like an exciting venture, perhaps to grab not just a family, but a group of friends with as well.
Definitely. It's about socialising. I mean, we all love going out to dinner. We've made it easy for you. You can sample 3 different restaurants in one night, one set price, really affordable. Why would you not do it?
Okay, are all the prices in the book?
Prices are in the book. Ticketing is through Ticket Direct, but again, all the details are in the booklet or on our website, feastnelson.nz.
Kathy Madigan, Uniquely Nelson, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Motueka's Grand Prix motocross star Josh Coppins has put down his manager's clipboard on the weekend and headed out to the track to do battle on a bike. The Queen's Birthday weekend's iconic Michael Godfrey Memorial Motocross near Waipara in North Canterbury was one of those opportunities the Yamaha hero found too good to pass up. The 38-year-old two-time former world number 2 and former New Zealand, Australian and British motocross champion showed he had not forgotten how to twist the throttle as he dominated the weekend in the Premier MX1 450cc class. Coppins said afterwards that it was a great weekend for the whole Yamaha team. Nelson rider Isaac Milson took the Yamaha YZ125 to win the senior 125cc class, and it was more Yamaha Racing team dominance in the all-in Michael Godfrey feature race as Coppins again led home to win. Meanwhile, Nelson's Reese Walker took his Yamaha bike to finish first in the junior 125 to 250cc feature race, and Walker had also won the junior 14 to 16 years 250cc class outright. Tasman musician Ali Cook has recently arrived home after a hectic schedule in Australia and is due to release her new album Horseshoe Rodeo this month. Chrissy Small caught up with Ali at her home in Tasman this week.
Ali Cook, Horseshoe Rodeo, or Rodeo in New Zealand as we say, hotel. Now this is your very brand new, hot off the press album, your second album, because you had Brand New Day, the first one. Now we've got this one. Yeah. This is a fantastic looking album. Tell us how it all came together. And of course you've got Alan Jansen again who's produced this album, and you've got quite a team on this album. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so I've crowdfunded it, of course. So a lot of 185 people put in and crowdfunded the album, which enabled me to do it. And it's been fantastic to work with Alan again because, it's now a 10-year relationship of building a sound around my music, and that's what's really great about him is that he's created a sound that's me. It's around who I am as a writer and as a musician without pushing me into a genre, just me being, and that's really important to me, to keep that individuality. We write very well together, so a lot of the songs on the album are co-written, and then he and Brent Hayward, otherwise known as AKA Fats White, they co-wrote a song called Midnight Cowboys that's on there, and Brent also painted the painting that's on the front cover, especially for the album, and then we had it photographed for the front cover of the album. So she's the girl from the Horseshoe Rodeo Hotel, not necessarily me, but
you're on the back.
on. There's so many people that have been part of creating this album. Sure. And
there's a real Australian influence to this album because you're spending a lot more time over there performing than you are here.
Well, it's kind of like a second home to me, and I guess I spent a lot of time in the 80s there in the music industry and travelling around Australia extensively with shows like the Moscow Circus and things like that. So I already had a really in-depth kind of travel of Australia. And in the last 5 years, I've played so many festivals. I've just done my 5th Tamworth this year. I've done Gympie Music Muster. I've played in Ceduna in South Australia, in the Kimberley, in Queensland, in Brisbane. So just, a lot of places, and it's influenced me, I really do love Australia, but I also love New Zealand. That's where my home is, and Nelson is my home in particular. So I'm just one of those people that travels away from here and works. And actually in my neighbourhood there's a heap of us. We were discussing that the other night at a friend's birthday party, how many people live in the Kina and Tasman area that don't work here. So so my work is outside of here. I mean, it's nice to play at home when I get the opportunities or get asked to do a festival or something, but I'm travelling in a course off to Europe in a couple of weeks' time.
Gosh, so you're a busy lady. Tell me, the new single Home.
Yeah. So we decided that this would be the first single, and actually it's sort of ironic we're talking about travelling, and Home was written about coming home to my place in Kina, and just after being away, and the feeling of falling into your own bed when you've been in 10 different beds and couch surfing and everything else that you do as a musician, coming home and the feeling of home. And so, but quite ironically, I didn't shoot it in the video in New Zealand. I've just done my first music video with an Australian crew using film director Paul Denham over there, who's had some great music video clips and recently a film as well in Australia. So it was great to work with an Aussie crew, and I had some really terrific makeup artists, script, people involved, and we shot a music video there in the Blue Mountains district, which was really nice to get up in there and discover some new places. The Blue Mountains is pretty special and got some very old historic places, and we used one of those historic places, the Collets Inn, which is in Hartley, Little Hartley, and built in 1823. So really, really old kind of house with barn and farm, and kind of replicating having a farm at home, but shot it in Australia. So
Great. Now, Ellie, this album, is it available now?
Yes, it's now. The pre-order's now available on iTunes, so you can get that on iTunes, and Rodeo Records, which is my label. I've started with Alan Jansen. We've signed to MGM distribution in Australia, so it's currently already into JB Hi-Fi for pre-order in Australia, and I would imagine that pretty soon those will be up in New Zealand as well. But you can, if you want a digital download, you can definitely go to iTunes and order it already, and it will be into the retail outlets, I hope, around New Zealand soon.
Well, I suggest for people to go out and buy the album because it's such a fantastic cover, and there's so much information here. All the lyrics are here. It really tells a story, doesn't it?
I did the lyrics this time because I got hounded last album for not having lyrics on the album, and a lot of people actually really like that. And I think a lot of people really like there's still people that like a CD, particularly in the country music scene, although as you'll know from listening to it, there's a lot of tracks on here that aren't just country. There's a lot of tracks on here that Kimberley is almost like a world music track.
It's very haunting.
Yeah, Love Is a Full-Time Job is like a rock track, and Midnight Cowboys is almost like a dance track. So it's kind of like the songs fall where they do, but I think they're all quite different, but they have a thread through them. This time it really feels like a body of work. And somehow they all connect together.
They do.
So, yeah.
And it's very easy listening. I've got mine playing full on in the car every day.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Thank you.
This is a must.
Thank you.
A must get. We need to keep you supported, and we want to see you do a show here in Nelson, don't we?
Yeah, well, I reckon it's just about time that I did that, so it won't be far away, but I've got to get this Europe trip out the way. I'll be back by August, and later in the year I will be doing more.
Ellie Cook, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, for those that have been following Mainland's council stories, we have had some response from council on the stories regarding tenders for work on contracts. The weighting attribute system is essentially how tenders are scored. All tenders are scored against criteria, but some criteria might be considered more important than others, for example, being a local. However, when asked once again why no contract had been offered to locals for painting the blue lines in Bridge Street, no answer has yet been forthcoming. On the story about the long-term plan spending and in what could be considered by some to be excessive and unneeded, Mainland has been informed by council staff that the Mayor is likely to defer giving a response until after the long-term plan has been signed off. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from the Facilitators. We now look after sales for Mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms Mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialists, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
.1 The Shed.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and a lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern, just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, a garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come in, see us.
Saturday the 6th of June is Nelson Council's Mai Tai planting event to mark Arbor Day. So grab your gumboots, some friends and family and join the Project Mai Tai Mahitahi Planting Day. This public planting event is being held just downstream of the Mai Tai camp from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. A sausage sizzle has been organised and spades will be provided. Everybody's welcome. Friends of the Mai Tai Winter Planting and Plant Care Evenings for the month of June are Friday the 5th and 19th, 4 p.m. to sunset, and are being held at Groom Creek, which is opposite the Mai Tai Valley Motor Camp, across the Forestry Bridge and up the stream. Please bring any favourite gardening equipment and join the community action to help the forest grow and flourish along the banks of the Mai Tai. If you need transport to the site, please contact Ali or Ami on the number provided. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand On Air.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonne covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come in, see us. World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour. We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer, all types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.